Okay, I'll mute everybody. Okay, hello everybody from all corners of the globe. Welcome to Global Peace Building Community. We are doing these Global Peace Talks every month. So Happy New Year, everybody. Let's adjust plans for 2021. We have a good speaker today, William Haynes.
Hello.
He traveled around the world and giving powerful these peace presentations. So we'll hear his presentation, and also please, everybody, if you are listening me, if you hear my voice, please say in the chat. Chat is always open, because somehow everybody gets frozen. So now it's okay, yeah? It's working. Okay, so to be very short, yeah, oh, okay, Alamin, thank you very much that you are listening. And now let's give the microphone to William Haynes. As I said, he is a great global leader giving peace presentation globally, and he may inspire good kickoff, good words for the beginning of 2021. Okay, William, could you turn on your microphone and presentation?
Yes, shall I start?
Yes, let's do it.
So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody. It depends on which part of the world you are. For me, it's 12:15 in the afternoon on Saturday. So wonderful to see your bright, shiny faces here from all over the world. So I'll just introduce myself a little bit first. As I mentioned a few moments ago, I was very happy to see many of you born from Africa, because that's where I was born as well. I was born in Kampala in Uganda. That's where my parents were living. That's where they met. That's where they got married. And that's where I was born. And spent a few years there. And then they moved to Kenya, where my sister was born in Mombasa. And then came to England, where I went to school. But then my parents, after that, they moved and they went to work for a while in South Africa. And then they lived for many years in Nigeria, where they worked there. And I went to visit them in Nigeria as well. So I have a lot of love in Africa. And when I was a little boy, I had my own, I don't know, I used to speak Swahili fluently. I don't know if there's Swahili speakers on the call today, but I used to have my ayah who used to look after me and take very good care of me. So I've always been interested in traveling. As I was mentioning to Pastor Nelson, my grandmother came from, was born in Melbourne in Australia. And my father actually was born in Bangkok in Thailand. So I've been really blessed to be able to have roots all over the world, really. My mother's actually born in Jerusalem. So this is what I want to share with you a little bit about we're talking about Nicolae, we talk about global peace and the blessing. So this has always been a concern of mine, because having roots in many different parts of the world, I've always been concerned about the world in which I live and the relationships between people in the world of different nationalities and different religions, different races. And so often these kind of differences lead to conflict. And so often these kind of differences lead to war. And of course, when there's war, as I'm sure many of you know, it's the most awful situation for people who are living through war and experiencing war, when suddenly they experience incredible turmoil. You know, 99% of people actually aren't involved in it, but it just comes to them, and their whole life is turned upside down, and they may not be able to carry on living where they were born and where they grew up and where their livelihood is. And sometimes they have to move as refugees. And of course, sometimes even worse, they or members of their family suffer violence and are even killed. And so it's a really painful situation, really traumatic for people who to live in this kind of environment and experience this in their own lives. And it really is the worst thing. So naturally, all good people are thinking about peace. All good, decent, righteous people are thinking about how can we have a world without war, a world in which there's peace, a world in which people can live at harmony with each other. Not a world in which everybody is the same, but a world in which people can respect each other's differences and acknowledge each other's differences and learn from each other's differences, but at the same time live in peace with each other. So that's basically what I'd like to share a little bit about today, and some thoughts about this. And I'm going to share my screen with you now. Is the talk which I prepared, and let's see what I want to do now. Slideshow, right from start. Okay. So it's concerning this quest towards global peace. And I think we need to think about this and really go back to the fundamentals before we start thinking about particular policies in particular regions or parts of the world. And so often people just start talking about particular events and particular problems that are taking place. But I think before we can start talking about that, we need to go back to the fundamentals to understand what is the basis of peace. And so this is something which, a speech which I came across by someone I respect very much. His name is Father Samir Moon. And he had a huge concern about this because he himself was born in Korea, died a few years ago. He himself suffered during the Japanese occupation of Korea. And then following that, the civil war in Korea between what later became North and South Korea. And so this is something which has always been on his own heart as well. And so he gave a speech about this, many speeches actually, and started quite a few groups. So he said, peace is not desired on the world level alone, but also the level of nations, societies, and families as well. Every individual, and even individuals, learn for peace between their minds and bodies. And so, as much as we might read the newspapers or watch the television, see wars going on, sometimes actually the war and the conflict which touches us the most intensely is sometimes the one within our own family. The conflicts within our own family, husband and wife, parents and children, brothers, uncles, aunts, cousins, these often touch us the most. And then, of course, he said, between our mind and body, which might be in conflict with each other. So these various levels of peace, which levels should be established first? It's easy to think that if world peace were established first, then on that basis, the peace of nations, societies, families, and eventually individuals will also be established. And so that's what politicians usually think about. They're usually thinking about peace on that level. But actually, Father Moon says, actually, it's the wrong way around. It's actually the reverse of the sequence necessary to establish peace. Individual peace must first be realized. Then family peace can soon follow. And only then on that foundation can the peace of societies, nations, and the world be expanded. This is because individuals are the basic units of families, and families are the basic units of societies and nations. So he says, talking maybe, I guess, about many politicians today, frequently leaders believe that through outstanding organization and superior thought, they can restore both order, society, and world peace. And so, of course, this has been the ambition of many politicians, many ideologies like fascism, communism, various political institutions on an international level. In reality, however, the peace of mankind can never pass through these means alone. They're important, but it's not enough. International organizations such as the United Nations and thought systems such as communism, democracy, etc., have all tried to realize world peace in their own ways. A peace is still far from our grasp, and the world is experiencing more confusion as the days go by. So after the end of the First World War, people thought we never want to have a war like this ever again. So a lot of idealistic people established the League of Nations. Again, of course, within a few decades, there was a Second World War. And after the Second World War, a lot of idealistic people said we must never allow this ever to happen again. And so established the United Nations. But again, we've seen, even though there are fewer wars than there were in the past, the reality is there's still lots of conflicts. And that's not enough. It's necessary, but it's not enough by itself. So unless the quest of the peace starts from the peace in the individual, it's bound to fail again and again. World peace begins with individual peace and expands through families, societies, nations, and ultimately become world peace. And you might wonder, why does it have to start with the individual? So Sun Myung-moon, Father Moon, he came from Korea, which is in the Far East, and the school he went to a school where he studied about Confucianism, although later on his family that became Christians, and he took a huge interest in work sponsoring all the interfaith activities to bring peace between different religions. But his own mind and heart and soul was shaped, you might say, as his childhood by the ideas of Confucius. And so I thought that'd be interesting to try and understand a little bit about Confucianism. What was his contribution to this kind of this way of thinking? So Confucius, a Chinese philosopher, lived about 2,500 years ago. He said the ancients who wished to preserve the fresh or clear character of the people of the world would first put the nation in order. So before starting to get involved in nation's affairs, they thought maybe we need to put our own nation in order first. Those who wished to establish order in their nation would first set about regulating their family life. So instead of getting involved in all the things that were going wrong within their own country or their own community or society, they would think, maybe I need to sort out my own life. Those who wish to regulate their family life will first improve their character. Because they might think, well, okay, there are problems in the relationship between me and my wife or my husband or my children. Is it them that's the problem? Or maybe there's something within me that needs to change. Maybe I need to change in order for my relationship with them to change and for our family to change and improve. So those who wish to improve their character would first make their hearts right. So they'd be thinking, okay, what's my motivation? Do I have a pure heart or have I got a selfish heart? Is it because of my own selfishness that I'm getting into fights and struggles and arguments with my husband and my wife all the time? Is it because I'm selfish that I'm getting into conflicts with my children because I want to control them and make them do what I want them to do? Is it me, my ego, that's getting in the way and leading to the source of conflict within my own family? So those who wish to make their hearts right would first make their will sincere. They, okay, am I being a sincere person in what I'm asking, what I'm speaking, or do I have some ulterior motive or selfish motivation behind what I'm saying and behind what I'm doing, behind what I'm expecting the people around me to do and how they should live? So those who wish to make their will sincere first achieve true knowledge. So we need to study. We need to understand the world in which we're living. We need to understand ourselves. So the achieving of true knowledge then depends upon the investigation of things. So it's really important that we understand the way the world works. It's really important to understand what is the nature of reality. A false understanding of the nature of what it is to be a human being, an incorrect understanding of the way society, the economy works, then whatever we do is going to lead to a disaster. So it's really important to have true knowledge. It's really important to study and to learn so we can base all our decisions upon a correct and a good understanding of the nature of reality. When things are investigated, that's study, learning, science, true knowledge is achieved. When true knowledge is achieved, the will becomes sincere. So, we're all suffering from a corona, virus at the moment, and politicians have to make incredibly important decisions which affect the lives of millions of people. So it's really important that they should have a correct and a good understanding of the nature of reality, which isn't just the science of viruses, but also a good understanding of human nature, what effect their policies will have upon the education of children, what effect the policies will have upon the economy and the possibility leading to an increase in poverty. And they have to take all these things into consideration when they make decisions. It's really important that people with positions of authority and leadership have a very clear, very broad understanding of the nature of reality and how things work, so they can weigh up all the different considerations when they're making decisions. So then the will becomes sincere. When the will is sincere, the heart is set right. When there's righteousness in the heart, then there'll be beauty in the character. You become a beautiful person. And when there's beauty in the character, there'll be harmony in the home. So when one's at peace with oneself, one's much less likely to get involved with an argument with other people. But when one has inner conflict, then you get to argue with another person, and that sparks off this inner conflict, and that can sometimes lead to a fight. But when you're at peace with yourself, you're much less likely to get into an argument with another person. You can disagree with them, but you don't get angry and you don't get upset because you have a deep inner in yourself. When you're at peace with yourself, then you can have all kinds of discussions, even arguments with another person, but you don't lose your temper. You remain emotionally stable and at peace with yourself. And that other person as well also is influenced and affected by the peace that you're radiating yourself. And that's so important when you're having debate discussions, to be at peace. And when there's beauty in the character, there'll be harmony in the home. And we all long to have harmony within our home, in our relationship with our spouse, our children, our parents, our relatives. When there's harmony in the home, there'll be order in the nation, because then you'll have fewer conflicts between families, fewer conflicts within communities, and then there'll be order within the nation. When there's order in the nation, then there'll be peace throughout the world. And so often you can see, when there's problems within a nation, often you'll find a president or dictator, whoever it is, will often instigate a conflict with a neighboring country to divert attention from inner problems within the nation. So when nations start getting involved in conflict with other nations, you can think, okay, what's going wrong within that nation that they need to provoke a conflict, so to persuade everybody to become patriotic or nationalistic and to stop criticizing the government. Often that's what's going on. Over and over again, you can see when problems happen between nations, it's because there's a problem within the nation. So that's the issue again and again. So as I said, as Confucius said, I'm just quoting Confucius here, it all starts with true knowledge. So what kind of knowledge do we need? We need to understand, what does it mean to be a human being? Anybody here on this call not a human being? We're all human beings. Anybody here who's a cat or a dog or a cow? No, we're all human beings. So most important thing then to start with is, what does it mean to be a human being? We have to start with self-knowledge. Know yourself, as one of the wise philosophers said, know yourself. So what do we all have in common as human beings? Well, what is the reality of life? The reality of life is, without exception, every single human being has a mind and body. Anybody who hasn't got a mind and body, they're dead. We all have minds and bodies. The question is, did you left your body in bed still, or is your mind and body both present? We all have a mind and body. That's just a reality of life. This is just the way it is. The other reality of life, whether we like it or not, we exist in relationship with other people. It's unavoidable. No human being created themselves. All human beings have got a mum. All human beings, without exception, have got parents, without whom they would not exist. So whether we like it or not, we exist in some relationship with the human beings that gave birth to us, our parents. And again, the other reality may also be with brothers and sisters and children at school or neighbors. That's just the reality of life. We exist in relationship with other human beings, whether we like it or not. And the other unavoidable existential reality is we live in a physical world. Whether we like it or not, the laws of gravity apply to you and to me. It's not optional. Jump out of a window, whether you like it or not, there's only one way in which you're going to go, and it's down. No choice. So this is just the reality of life. And so when we think about life, again, all human beings, what do all human beings want, especially young people? They all want to grow up and become an adult. It's nice being a child. No, you ask any child, they say, I don't want to remain a child forever. I want to grow up and become an adult. I want to be responsible. Yeah. And so children try on their parents' clothes and they don't fit yet. But, you know, we want to grow up, become an adult, take responsibility, have the freedom to make decisions. Another thing that all people want is, yeah, everyone wants to have friends. Nobody wants to say, I don't want friends. Everyone without exception, unless they become really badly damaged, all human beings want friends. Most human beings also want to get married. And most human beings also want to have a family, especially if they themselves come from a happy family. And again, most human beings, they also want to become prosperous. Most human beings, if you ask them, would you like to be wealthy and rich? They'll say, yes, definitely. And also to live a creative life. All human beings then want to grow up, become adults, marry, have a family, have friends, live a creative life and be prosperous. This is just a universal reality of life. So we could say there's three fundamental desires and goals that all human beings have, which I just mentioned there. And when these desires are fulfilled, we experience joy. When we grow up and become mature, we can experience joy in our life. When we marry, family, friends, we can experience, and when we experience love in these relationships, again, we experience a deep joy. When we're living a creative life and we're prosperous, again, we experience joy. And so a joyful and happy life is when these desires are fulfilled. So desire fulfilled leads to joy. If we're hungry, we get something to eat, we're happy. We miss our parents or we miss our friends or our spouse, we see them, our heart is filled with joy and we're overwhelmed, we're happy, and go and give them a hug and a kiss. The question then, of course, is how to fulfill these desires so that they bring joy. So even though all human beings desire these three fundamental things, not all human beings are able to fulfill these desires in a way which brings joy and meaning into their lives. Why? Well, some desires are unrealistic, such as the desire to want to be able to jump out a window and fly, never going to happen. Some desires are immature, like the little child who gets into his parents' car and tries to drive, but his legs aren't long enough, so he can't reach the pedals. Some desires are excessive. I love chocolate. One day I remember after Easter I ate so much chocolate I was sick, and that didn't make me happy. And desires are just wrong. You may get really upset someone, you might want to strangle them, but actually it's a wrong desire. And if you fulfill that desire, you won't be happy. You'll be guilt-ridden, yeah, and unhappy. So this is a reality. Not all desires lead to happiness. Yeah? So we need to be aware of that. And all these desires lead to unhappiness. And so this again is part of the existential reality of what it is to be a human being. And all religion recognizes this. All religions recognize this is the reality of human life. So Buddhism, for example, Buddha didn't believe in God, or certainly didn't teach about God, but he said all suffering is caused by selfish desire, craving. Yeah, when you have this excess desire and craving, then you're unhappy. People who are addicted especially experience this. Someone who is addicted to smoking or to drinking or to drugs, if they can't have their fix, then they're craving, they're unhappy until they get another cigarette. So Buddha said, the way to happiness is to extinguish craving, get rid of all these selfish desires. So this is the paradox. Desire leads to both happiness and suffering. The New Testament and Paul also recognized as well. So desires then need fulfilled in the right way so they bring happiness and not suffering. So as I said, these three basic desires is not easy. Want to grow up and become an adult, part of being out to become an adult is getting mind-body unity. But sometimes people don't manage that to get mind-body unity, become alcoholics, become lazy, can't get themselves out of bed in the morning or work hard enough, lose their job. They may become addicted to gambling or can't control their temper or always losing their temper, and even sometimes resorting to violence and beating people up and then regretting it. And sometimes people can't control their eating, they become obese and suffer all the illnesses that come with that. People struggle to achieve good relationships, experience love, happiness, but again, because of the inner struggle, often they fight with their husband or wife, they get divorced, married, divorced. There's conflict with their children or their parents. And sometimes people fall out with everybody and they become lonely and they wonder, why doesn't anybody ever visit me? Well, why? Because anytime anyone visits them, they get into an argument. And often people struggle to manage things. Sometimes people can't manage their finances. They spend more than they earn, get into debt, and then go bankrupt. They may end up losing their house or their car. They may end up living on the street. And people also struggle. And that, of course, that's devastating on an individual level, but of course on a family level. It's really important to manage finances, also to look after one's home, the environment, be aware of, how much am I damaging the environment? These are also things. So when we can't manage these three fundamental relationships, the relationship mind and body, the relationship with other human beings, and our relationship with the natural world, then there's no peace. So this is fundamental, there's no peace. And at the same time, people struggle to find the meaning in life. Yeah, this is another reason why sometimes people get involved in these kind of things. They can't find the meaning or purpose to life. So we all need help. So at the end of the day, we acknowledge we need help. People become alcoholics. They can't overcome their alcoholism until they get to the bottom and they realize, I cannot do it by myself. I need help. That's the basis of something called the Alcoholics Anonymous. There's a 12-step process to recover and stop being an alcoholic. And the first step is to acknowledge, I cannot solve this problem by myself. I need help. And I need help from a divine power. I need help from a divine power who you might call God. I cannot do it by myself. I need God's help. I need God's blessing to be able to manage this problem I have. And to be honest, sometimes we need God's blessing. We need God's help to be able to love our husband, our wife, or our children, or our next door neighbor. When we get into a struggle, we want to strangle them. You have to say, God, help me to love this person. And the same with everything. We need to be guided by our conscience in all the decisions that we make, and then we can receive God's help and God's blessing in all these areas. So we need a blessing, God's blessing. So blessing is empowerment to be able to do what is not within our natural capabilities. We acknowledge I can't do it by myself. I need help from a higher source of power to help me to fulfill these desires in a moral and meaningful way. So whose kind of help do we want? Whose blessing do we want? Well, when we're children, we want our parents' blessing on what we do. If we feel our parents are supporting what we're doing, we've got our parents' permission to do what we're doing, we feel confidence, we feel empowered. So when we get into a difficult situation, we have this feeling of extra strength coming from the knowledge that our parents are the source of our life and love. We have their support and permission and blessing on what we're doing, and it gives us strength to be able to overcome any difficulties that we might face. Same also, we want to have our community's blessing. We don't want to let our community down because we know that they're supporting us, they're rooting for us. We want our community's blessing upon whatever it is that we're doing. And at the same time, even beyond that, we should want the creator of the universe's blessing. The universe didn't come into existence by itself. We are created. We are created beings, not just by our parents. We are also created by the creator of the universe. So also we want to receive the blessing of the creator of the universe on everything that we do as well. And we can say that we want to have the heavenly parents' blessing. So we can say, well, who is the creator of the universe? The creator of the universe, we could say, is the parent of the universe, and who gave us, wants to be involved in these three different dimensions of our life, to experience God's blessing in these three different dimensions of our life. And it's really precious to feel you got your parent, your communities, or God's blessing upon what it is that you're doing and upon your life. That's really precious thing to have God's blessing, our parents' blessing, our community's blessing on everything that we do. So if we think about these three different dimensions, as I said, the relationship between our mind and body, it's really important to develop this. Our mind is subject, our body is object. And in order to develop that, we need to do that partly through meditation, through prayer, through concentration. And when you've got mind-body unity, then we experience joy. Often people experience this through sport or through martial art or through playing an instrument or whatever it is. We experience that mind-body unity. We experience just living in the moment, living in the present, investing our whole heart and soul in whatever it is that we're doing. And we experience this incredible joy and energy. We experience that's the kind of energy and joy we want to experience. And all our physical desires, they need to be guided by spirituality, to experience spiritual values. And that's what it is to grow up. When we're a child, we have all these bodily functions, and growing up is learning how to manage our physical desire, learning how to wee and poo in a potty instead of in a nappy, learning how to eat at the right time and the right place, instead of just snacking all the time, instead of just eating what my wife says sometimes to me, you're on a seafood diet, you see some food and you go and eat it. Actually, to eat at the right time, the right place, a good table manners in a social environment with family and with friends. Also sleep at the right time in the right place, not just crashing out anywhere. And also sexual desire also should be fulfilled the right time, the right place, and with the right person. Really important. And so all of these physical desires then need to be guided by spirituality, by spiritual values. And only when that happens do we experience joy. When our body dominates our mind, instead of experiencing joy, we experience anguish and pain and suffering and guilt. Yeah, when our body dominates our mind, when we can't control eating, we become obese, we become unhappy, we become damaged. So a really important aspect of mind-body unity, of course, is becoming a virtuous person, keeping promises. So what we say is what we do. We practice what we preach. No difference between our words and our deeds. So we have to control our physical desire for these things. Smoking, eating, drinking, shouldn't watch pornography, because all these things, they pollute our mind. So that's one aspect. In order to be able to get that mind-body unity, we need to turn to God. We need to say, God, help me to get mind-body unity. Help me to be able to control my physical desire. Help me to find meaning in all these things so that I can experience meaning and joy through fulfilling these physical desires in a way, in a more way. And so, yeah, this is a teaching in the Buddha, for example. What we are today comes from our thoughts of yesterday. Our present thought build our life of tomorrow. Our life is a creation of our mind. If a man speaks or acts with a pure mind, joy follows him as his own shadow. So the way I am today is a result of everything I've thought, said, and done in the past. The difficult thing is that. But the great thing is, if I change the way I think, I will change the way I feel, I'll change the way I speak. I'll change the way I look at other people. I'll change the way I relate to other people, and I'll change the way I act, and I can change myself. So if I change the way I think, then I can change myself. Doesn't matter what your reality is today. Doesn't matter what mistakes you might have made in the past. The future is always open. The future is not determined by the present, because we can change ourselves, and then we can change our present and our relationships with others. We can change the way we think, we can change the way we feel, we can change the way we act, and we can change our future. So all these things, learning to eat in the right time, sleep in the right place, sex in the right place, I mentioned. And so then we're talking now about the second realm, the relationships we have with other human beings. Relationships we have, we're all sons or daughters, we all have parents. How's our relationship with our parents? Most of us probably have brothers and sisters. How's our relationship with our brothers and sisters? Sometimes it's awkward. The older brother, younger brother, middle brother. Many of us then are married. How's our relationship with our husband or wife? Many of us have children. How's our relationship with our children? So it's really important then to get all these fundamental relationships right. And again, to be able to experience love in these fundamental different relationships. So the different types of love. The love a child has for parents is different to the kind of love that you have for a brother or sister. The love a man has for his wife is different from the love that he has for his friends. It's a different kind of love. So these 4 different kinds of love is so important to get them right and not to get them mixed up. When they get them mixed up, then you get all kinds of problems, sexual abuse, adultery, all kinds of terrible things start to happen. Really important to love children, children to love their parents in the right way, love your sisters in the right way, and friends in the right way. Love your husband and wife. It's a unique love and unique relationship. You shouldn't have that kind of relationship with any other person. And parental love. So you can have a parent and have many children. You can be a sibling and have many brothers and sisters. But as a child, you only want to have one set of parents. As a husband, you want to only have one wife. As a wife, and you want to have one husband. So it's really important about these things as well, creating good families. So what is the purpose of marriage then? The purpose of marriage is to bring into oneness the realm of heart of one man representing the world of masculinity and one woman representing the world of femininity. They perfect the love between a man and woman. These 2 different realms, the realm of masculinity and femininity, they're different. Yeah, there is a difference there. And so this then is why marriage is important. It's because it's the path by which we seek true love. We all want to experience true love, because when we experience true love, we experience incredible joy within our heart. And life is so different when we experience love, true love. Life is so much richer, so much more meaningful because of love. Without love, life is empty. Life becomes meaningless. And that's sometimes why people turn to alcohol or to drugs, because the love has been betrayed, the heart has been broken, and to dull the pain, that's what they turn to. So that's why true love is so important. And that's why it's so important that marriage works out. It's because it's a path for creating life. So husband and wife have a sexual relationship and have children. That creates life, new life. Nothing more important than creating life. It's not just a physical act that comes along with this responsibility, huge responsibility when you have children, because you're responsible for bringing these children up. And it's very, very difficult if parents are fighting with each other. It's really painful for a child if their parents are fighting. It's like their world is unstable. And the most painful thing for a child is their parents' divorce. So it's because the path on which a lineage of a man and woman are commingled. So it brings together these 2 lineages, maybe just 2 different families. It may even be 2 different nations, or maybe even 2 religions, bringing together and trying to harmonize different family upbringings, different national customs or tribal customs, trying to harmonize these together. It's not easy. So for marriage then, of course, we want our parents' permission. If you feel your parents aren't happy with the person who you want to marry, it's really awkward. Young people want to have their parents' blessing and support and permission to marry the person who they love. And everything becomes so much easier then, when they know their parents are supporting them. Also, people before they get married, they talk to their friends about the person who they're thinking about marrying, and to find out, do my friends think this is a good decision I'm going to make? And if their friends support them, they feel good. They feel they're making a good decision. They feel their friends are supporting this marriage, and they feel they have their friends' blessing on it. And again, if their community supports it, so that's why people have a wedding. When you have a wedding, you invite your family, you invite your friends, you invite members from the community, because you want to have your community support and blessing upon your marriage. Again, it's something really important. And then the community recognizes this relationship and supports it in any way. And of course, we want to have our heavenly parents, the creator of the universe's permission, support and blessing upon our marriage. And so that's why people very often get married within a religious context. If it's a church, they have a wedding. If they're Christian, they get married in a church. If they're Muslims, they get married within their family, but then also may very likely go to the mosque to get a blessing from the imam. And if they're Hindus, then they have a very elaborate wedding ceremony, going around fire 7 times. Very, very beautiful. All these wedding ceremonies are extraordinarily beautiful because it emphasizes inviting God's blessing onto the marriage. And they're very, very meaningful and emphasizing the meaning of the marriage. So heavenly parents' blessing, support. So who has the authority to give heaven's blessing on our marriage? So this is one thing that the world we're living today. Then I talked about Father Moon and Mother Moon. Then they've been anointed and appointed by a heavenly parent, by God, to bring God's blessing to humanity, to bring God's blessing to the marriages and the families and the nations of all humanity. And so they have this authority, which they received through going through a particular kind of spiritual path that they went through together, establishing a good marriage themselves, so then they could give the blessing they've established within their own marriage to others. So a channel of heaven's blessing. And they also are peacemakers. As I said, this is their Father, Mother Moon's major concern, is how to bring world peace. And so they realize, inheriting the tradition from Confucianism, said Father Moon, his family, they became Christians when he was a child. When he was 16, he had his own personal encounter with Jesus Christ. And then he'd be following this path, the teachings of all the different prophets, and trying to bring peace and harmony between the different religious traditions. Not trying to convert people from one religion to another religion, but saying actually we need to recognize the legitimacy, the authenticity, and the integrity of every religious tradition, and to learn from each other and to harmonize with each other and to bring peace between each other. And he realizes blessing is really fundamental for that. And so he created a ritual for this, a ceremony through which which together they would bring heaven's blessing to people. And so this is what we call an international interfaith blessing for world peace. So true parents, Father, Mother Moon, travel around the world, giving this heaven's blessing, heavenly parents' blessing to thousands, tens of thousands. And now in the last, before lockdown started in 2019, and then Father Moon, he passed into the spiritual world some years ago, but Mother Moon has been traveling around the world in stadiums of tens of thousands of people, couples coming together to go through the ceremony to receive heaven's blessing upon their marriage. Because recognizing that it's really important to have individual peace and peace within one's family, marriage and family. And so this is what he's been doing. So he came across this teaching in Confucianism. He thought about it, prayed about it, studied the Bible, studied different religious traditions, and thought, okay, how can I do this myself. How can I contribute towards world peace? How can I try to contribute towards peace within my own country of Korea? And then he realized, I need to find peace within myself. And that's what he himself achieved. Then he realized, I need to get married, have a peaceful, harmonious marriage. And he did that. And also a family. And then he did this. And so then that's why on that basis, he created this ritual. So putting into practice his own teaching, trying to find a way to bring about global peace. So just to remind you what he said at the very beginning, individual peace must first be realized. Then family peace will soon follow. And only on that foundation can peace of societies, nations, and the world be expected. This is because individuals are the basic units of families, and families are the basic units of societies and nations. So each of us then has our own personal individual responsibility to develop our own personal spiritual life and to resolve any inner different problems we have within ourselves. And that basis we can build world peace. So I wish to thank you all very much for being so patient with me and for listening so tentatively. So I'll stop sharing my screen and hand you all over again to Nicolae. Thank you.
Microphone. Yeah, thank you very much, William. Please write in chat, everybody who like it, everybody say good comments about. Do you have a few more minutes to answer for questions, William, or?
I can stay for a few minutes, ask to take some questions, certainly, yeah.
Okay. Oh, everybody say powerful presentation. Okay, there will be a question answer session. Let's go further with the program. Okay, and the question you could write in chat, and I will press to William after. Okay, so let me try to share my presentation. Wait a second. What is that interesting button? Okay. Presentation. Somehow. Okay. Somehow don't work this presentation. Wait a second. Okay, one more time. Okay. Please write in chat if you see my presentation and hear my voice. Okay, don't see this chat. Okay, let's go. So one more time, welcome everybody globally for this in our community, Global Peace Talks. We have these talks every month, and we are working together with this good goal to work with different partners, unite everybody for global peace by 2027 campaign. A little bit about me, you may find more on the internet. For those who are new, who are not new, already they know about me. I'm working, as many of you, for peace. And we're working in different areas. We united people in different associations, like one is Leaders for Peace, everybody up to presidents and so. And then we have the programs also for business, IT, agriculture. This is one of our, how to say, friend organization. And Africa, we teach them, and they start this business. And before they was very, how to say, complaining about no money, but now they are very happy with this donuts business, and we could work in this area too. I'm doing now consulting different organizations and people how we could work together. Another is media for peace and culture. As myself, I am writer, and try to unite different writers and different organizations. Also, I have my own YouTube channel, is Message to Billions. You please subscribe it and say your opinions there. Also, all our conferences I try to send to mass medias, and our conferences go to the different channels with our partners globally. So that is another area. We work with the schools, university, education, academia, associations for peace. And another, what is mostly here present, is youth. So youth are the future, you are the leaders, and we try to empower you at this Global Peace Building Network to empower you with new ideas, and we will make, you will have many presentations like this, what you heard about from William Haynes, and also we will have much more seminars. Just stay in touch and contact me anytime for more. We see the youth how is now, so we should act now and clean it to pass the clean environment for future generation. Here am I the one this kind of project and summer 2020 with our kids. You see there, we teach them to keep the planet. And another is this social service charity, Helping Children, Health Family Association. So we work a lot in the families area. And another area where we work in another association, Interfaith Spirituality Association for Peace. As William said, the key for world peace, this is a marriage blessing, and this is Messiah second coming that is giving this blessing. So we want you and to work with you locally there to organize many of these projects. As in 2020 was a lot of difficulties in that year, previous year. So let's hope and pray to God that 2021 will be much better. Have a great hope, and that as you hear in previous presentation, that even great people, for example, for me, I read about how to say, books of the former president of USA. He is a billionaire. Unfortunately, he is divorced many times. So how you think that are he happy or not? Please write in chat. And also, I read a lot of books from these great speakers and around the planet, and almost all of them complain, even they are billionaires, that they don't have money. So the most important, what do you think? Is peace or money? So even you could be billionaire, but you and have a lot of money, but you still need more. And the most important is to have peace. So we will organize this marriage blessing festivals and around the planet. I'm doing this in my country and different other countries, and also could empower you that the main idea is for this meeting, and we start now to distribute these certificates. Everybody who want to join with us to be leader there and in their community, tribe, or clan, they could receive certificate from us and free consulting from us, like how you could grow, because we want our people, those who contact our Global Peace Building Organization, to be empowered and get their own organization, their own activities, and empower youth and make all of these 7 areas what I show you to work. wherever they want it, and we will empower them with the consulting seminars and a lot of education. And most important is that you're supposed to develop your own group, register organization or wherever you are, because we want you to be the future leaders of your country. So stay with us and let's work together. And therefore, as you receive my emails to cooperate for peace, let's do it. Those who already apply for the certificate on these areas, I will send it soon. So for more information, you could contact me anytime. And I try to be very short. Okay, so now there will be open mic session, and we start further step of global peace talks. So those who want to say, now is your time. Please say your plans for peace building for 2021 and how we could cooperate, because our session, our conference, comparing with other conferences globally, there are many conferences where I was for the peace, but we tried the best to give you the tools for peace, because our audience asked us, please give us tools for peace. So this is tools for peace, is marriage blessing, and all of these 7 areas where we were working. Okay, so who is first? Who want to say something about plans for 2021, about my presentation or about William's presentation? Please turn your microphone or say in the chat or other. May I ask Ernst? Could you turn on your microphone? Oh, sorry. Ibrahim, you turn on your microphone. Yeah, you want to say something?
No?
Yeah. We hear you. Who is there? Gibson or Ibrahim?
Hello?
Yes.
Hello? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Gibson, yeah, you are welcome.
Okay.
No?
All right. Can I make my point?
Yes, sure. Therefore, we are here. Open microphone.
Thank you.
Right.
First of all, I want to thank Nicole and you for the very powerful presentation. Honestly, I really enjoyed the presentation. It was such a wonderful presentation. And to be honest with you, there were a lot of things that Nicole did discuss that was so amazed me, and I was surprised to have learned a lot. That is why I was even sending messages that it will be nice for us to also have this document, because it's so much powerful. So if that is a way that you will also share with us this document, that would be fine. And I'm also glad that you talked about the issue of certificate. That certificate is also good. Some of us, we've been advocating on this issue, this feeling by various networks, social networks. And we're trying the little we can to also establish that fact by our networks and other youth groups. Now, like me, I'm a youth activist, and I've been advocating. I'm also a media person working for the role. So I think of this team, it's also a national knowledge. And I know moving forward, I'll be able to capacitate myself for the better and for the future. Because if you also want to champion certain things, it is also good that you capacitate yourself. And to God be His glory, I am much better now. And with this group, I know there is a lot ahead, and a lot will also come in for sustainability. But let me also hasten to also say that we need certificates, because the country we live in now, especially Sierra Leone, for me in Africa, they believe in documents. So when you don't have documents, you cannot really testify. They cannot really attain that you have this, blah blah blah. So it's good that we have the documents, we have certificates as active, so that they will, at the end of the day, believe that indeed you are working for an organization. So me talking for global peace talks or whatever, they would have to ask me, what's the document, what's the certificate? It's good for us to also present it to a wide community, so that people out there will be also interested to join this talk. For me, it's only yesterday to realize that this thing is on the social network. I came across it via the social network, so I became so much interested in it. I did contact you, not so. So honestly, I am very much happy and I'm glad to be part of this powerful thing. And I tell you, I'll also try the little I can to also talk to other youth guys, also talk to other people across, so that we can all have this kind of thing. So as against 2027, we are the better for these peace talks. So I want to thank you very much for the powerful presentation, and do fast up the issue about our certificate and see that we are also able to capacitate ourselves via various means. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Gibson. Very good. Yeah, certificates will be ready in a few weeks. Just contact me about. Another, who is next? Hashim. Could you say a few words about today's presentation and plans for 2021? Or... Yeah, Hashim.
Hello?
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. My name is Hashim Yusuf from Ghana. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you more or less.
Yeah. My problem with this is about religion. It seems all over the world we're having a lot of religions: Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism, and everybody is succumbed to this religion. And I think there should be a religious authority around the world, because everybody is, if you look at the Middle East, some part of the area are fighting because of religion beliefs. So my problem with peace globally should be, we should try and tolerate each other's religion, understand that God is one, and there is a way for all of us to pass through to God. So if you are a Buddhist, fine. You are Hinduism, fine. You are a Muslim, fine. You are a Christian, fine. So we should understand that way. But the bottom line is the development of the world, in particular one place. Because I felt that if one place is developed, the rest of the world will be changed to that place, and it will bring a lot of congestion, and will be a meaningful life to all of us. So we need to understand that tolerating each other's views and religions can bring a lot of peace. Also, equal rights and justice. And most importantly, we should understand God is unity. God is united. God loves everyone. We should try to love each and everyone. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Sounds very good. Yeah, this is our area. As I said, we work a lot with these interreligious organizations, and try to unite different religions, and there is a lot of results about. And okay, for more, contact me on my WhatsApp. You will see in the chat. Let's invite Ibrahim. He wants to speak. Ibrahim, could you speak now? Or as Ibrahim is preparing, let's invite Davidson. Davidson, could you turn on your microphone?
Thank you very much. Are you getting it now?
Okay.
Yes, it is very important that we continue to talk around peace. We talk around issues that has to do with getting peace. So, know that peace is not merely the absence of. It is about a lot of things. It is about things that are affecting everybody in the world. So let us continue to do the hard work. Let's continue to reach out. So it's not about only in Africa, but peace is everywhere. So we need to look at first the violence. I'm just giving an advice, and I'm just pleading for you that I have learned a lot of things from your session. It is important. It is very very important. Just continue to preach about peace in as as a nation and also succeed as everybody in the world. I'm just like I'm pleading. So, thank you very much for having me. Very, very excited to be part of this very conference.
Okay, thank you very much. Who want to speak next?
Yes.
Faisal Cheturi Valapu.
Yeah, actually, I was with work. Sorry, so
Okay. Faisal, please speak.
really, Mr. Nicole, I appreciate your effort. Really, this is a good initiative for the world, and we need to appreciate Mr. Nicole. And I will try to do that. I'm trying to make more people to join this team, so we can work. In a different country. Like I'm working in a Qatar, so I'll try to arrange from some people from Qatar, and I'm basically from India. So I'm planning like this. We need to make sure the more members for in our team, then only we can achieve our target. So I'm trying to do that, involving more people. Thanks for all of the team for taking effort for peace, and especially for Mr. Nicole. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Let's invite Parmod Mehra. Could you say about today's presentation and the peace project for 2021?
Okay, thank you very much for this opportunity. I'm so very grateful for this discussion that you are having, and you for your kindness that you have allowed me to come in. I would like to say that in the idea of peace has been delayed for a long time, and we need to stand up in our individual capacity, in our group of capacity, and in our national capacity to be able to accomplish the idea of global peace. And I have been doing this from my end, as an individual for the last 25 years now, and I am all the more determined to contribute to this idea. And I'm grateful that the way Nicole is kind of fulfilling his share of responsibility. And I think that the country that I belong to, India, has stood for this idea of Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. The whole world is one family.
Yes.
It's just a matter of realization. It is just a matter of identifying with this idea, and then we got divided in the name of various religions, various castes, creeds, gender, races, all those things. So I think with this realization, I think we have time and again we have been reminded by nature that we cannot live separately. We cannot deprive ourselves of each other's love and each other's kind of kindness. And like COVID, which I think when we look at COVID, this pandemic which kind of blocked everything, and such restrictions, and we were all kind of imprisoned there's a kind of very subtle and important message that we need to absorb from this, that we need to kind of connect more to be able to come out of this thing. And now the vaccine has come, and this vaccine nationalism has to go. We need to kind of support each other. I think God is kind, that he'll bring us out of all adversities, all problems and challenges. And the way we have come out is a testimony that now this opportunity that we have, we should not let this be compromised. We should share. We should kind of have in a very healthy spirit, allow each one to have vaccine, to have everything that we have. The sharing has to go on. We cannot kind of hoard and kind of collect resources at one place. So I think the writing is very clear on the wall, that we have to live together. We have to share our love and all our resources, and we should not kind of overlook this message. I'm together with you, all of you. I'm the kind of work chart that you are describing. It is very important, and the idea of love, marriage, family, that we can perpetuate that. Yes. And I have in my life, I have written also extensively about the role of family, how this intergenerational love sustains a beautiful world. So this is important, and I extend my sense of love and my heartiest congratulations for your endeavors. I'll always be keen to work together with all of you. I thank you very much. I'm always with you. I just over to you, please.
Good luck there in India. Let's cooperate for 2021 peace. So there remain two more people, or three: Wilhelmina, or there is Ashraf, or Kamala. Could you say something? How was presentation for you and plans for 2021?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Greetings from Azerbaijan, and I would like to firstly introduce myself. My name is Kamala Khankishiyeva, and I'm from Azerbaijan. So, and also thank you so much for this great presentation today. It was really great, and I'm happy being among here. So, and actually, during this pandemic time, 2020, it was too much complicated, and all lost countries lost actually their jobs there. But we tried to be strong and to find solution how to solve these like jobless, how to solve these education issues there. So, and nowadays 2001, and the people like hand in hand, they are trying to be strong, and like from Azerbaijan or from Ukraine or from Europe to America, from Canada to another country, they are starting to connect each other, and they try to sharing their educational skills, their diplomatic skills here. So that is really so great. Actually, I love online system. It's really so great, and I found a lot of solution here, online system. So, and firstly, I would like to see 2020 and the next other years, the people will be sharing each other's, not only education, also their love, they are also respect, there are also more solutions there. So, and as a I'm working for the government skills here. I'm in the non-government organization, and also I'm English teacher. So as an English teacher, I would like, for example, I am teaching English online. That is really so good. And some people, they don't have online skills here, but I want that 2021 we will improve our online skills there, because of we are going to technology skills. Maybe we are going to space. I don't know. This is the this is Earth's creative, and it was creative more things here. So and for the next years, and the people trying to also learning robotic system here. You know, it's actually normal, but so, and I would like to speak very short here, and that sharing also love, respect, and peace, especially peace and health, because that is really so important. Even you, for example, today's our presentation was about the marriage and about other issues there. So for marriage, really, or even not for marriage, even for every job, every work, the first need love. If you love this job, you will get success. If you love this family, you will get more respect there. So everything, it's the beginning from love and respect, and also like understanding ways there. That is the more things that we have to know here, and sure, it's coming from our generation also. But first, it's your issues. What you will create here, what you want, how you will do it. You will try to solve the solutions from yourself and in the society there. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Kamala. Yes. Seems like everybody speak already. Is anybody else who want to speak? If not, okay, you could contact me anytime. So this was the good kickoff for 2021. Let's work together, unite together. Anytime you can contact me on WhatsApp. The number is in the chat. And please, as we have this billion happy like subscribers marathon, please share with all your friends. You will receive this video in the WhatsApp and also emails. Please share it with all your friends, and also write your stories. Contact us for certificates to become a local leader and develop these global peace buildings in your area. Doesn't matter, a new school and a new community, city, country, and the world. Good luck, everybody. Please turn on your microphone, everybody. Let's say bye-bye, everybody. Let's please turn on your microphones, everybody. Say bye-bye, all the best and greetings, everybody globally. Please turn on your microphone, say bye-bye in your language. Let's hear international bye-byes. Bye-bye, all the best, la rivedere, всего хорошего.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, please turn on your microphones and say bye-bye in your language. Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you so very much. All the best. Stay happy, healthy in this difficult time. Make morning exercise and write the script, read the scriptures and different books, and contact different people. That peace start with you. Peace start with me. Everybody does. Share our love globally.
Yeah, we need to.
Yes.
We need to arrange more people on our friends. So we need to join with all of them. Yeah, we need to make a chain, world chain.
Yes,
Yeah,
let's do it. We have this global team. We have every month a meeting, these global peace talks, and also there will be a lot of seminars in education and consulting. Good luck, everybody. Bye bye.
Okay, bye bye.
All the best. God bless.